because of the temperature of the fire, the remains of those who have died, in some cases, may be impossible to recover meaningfully. So there are going to be people that are lost forever.
Front door. Fucking everything's gone. Back porch. There was walls here. Couch. TV's disintegrated. Bedrooms are gone. So I know that I'm like a mile and a half walk away from here. Yeah, the fruit made it. There's her bicycle. I told her to take her bike. Yeah. I told her to take her bike. How did this survive? Wow, look at the garbage can. And Dave's house was here. The tree came down too in the storm. So that's my porta car. Everything is what. Car, my fucking car. Shit. Oh, my baby. It's such a beautiful engine. Wow, look at that. God, it's still hot.
got so fucking hot yesterday.
Wow, they melted. Holy shit.
Oh, here you go.
I will definitely keep that. I still got my cat. No red eye though. Shit. It's done. Done. That's a gas cap. Yeah, or gas hole.
Gas hole?
Yeah.
Housing.
Yeah, this
Okay,
is.
so the cannery is still standing. Oh, look at all this stuff.
What
Look
cannery?
at these power lines down.
Careful. Oh man.
Gas station not even touched.
And the cannery is still standing.
It's still
We were
here.
told that the cannery was gone.
I think they meant something else, maybe. Oh, this is devastating. All these power lines came down. This was Pizza Hut. Now it's gone. Oh, the food truck made it. Some of these buildings are still here, but that wall is just leaning. It's nothing supporting it. If that building goes down, they're probably gonna have to demolish it. The bug they always had on display here is gone. All the lights. The sign's fine, but this is tremendous. All these buildings brought down.
It's still a search and rescue mission, a recovery mission, and that's why they don't want anyone in that area. Now, I want to introduce you to a Lahaina resident. His name is Sean Sarabay, and those who know him best call him Bougie. He's also being called one of the hometown heroes tonight. While many people were fleeing from that deadly blaze 11 days ago, he said his immense love for his community and the people in it gave him the strength to stay in Lahaina that night, and he tried his very best to save.
And how temperatures could reach this level, creating this amount of melting of aluminum. So where I'm at right now, just to orientate you, you can see the lights for the football stadium right there at Lahaina Luna. So we're right below Lahaina Luna High School in the neighborhood that did not, I repeat, did not burn. You can see all these houses are standing around here, unburned. There's no burn here, okay? So to me, this is like something out of a space movie. But then you have these two vehicles sitting in here that have melted
Yeah, it's
aluminum. So Donovan, if you want to just take us through this car real quick and show us, I know you know a few things about cars, you can point out some things that require a very high temperature. By the way, we just talked to the neighbor who was talking to an investigator in Lahaina Town yesterday, and he said the investigator told him the temperatures reached in excess of 3,000 degrees. So tell us what you got, Donovan.
Well, we have about 300 degrees for aluminum, and this aluminum
300?
1300.
1300, okay, thank you.
1300. Well, 1220, but if you round it up, because it was not only melted, it was liquefied to the point where it
ran
became
down the side of the hill.
a river of aluminum going down the dirt hill.
So this is the aluminum rim, obviously. There's the tire, what's left of it, the steel threads or steel belts.
And maybe combination gas tank if the gas tank's aluminum.
Okay. So you have liquefied aluminum running down the side of a grass fire.
The caliper melted, unless they stole it, but it looks like the bolts are still there. So that, and then you get the steel belts of the tire, which is just a bunch of a wire mesh laying there, and you have the windows that were melted, the back window. If you look at the big old, almost like
The glass is just melted.
Yeah, it was
dripping.
This is almost what you would see if you put a car in an incinerator.
So besides the gas that was in the tank, what's your theory on what could create temperatures of this level in the middle of a field?
anomaly, I think is the word.
So this is the second anomaly that
Yeah,
we're
it's
seeing.
just, that's why I stopped. I looked at it, I'm like, okay, house. Nothing's burned. And then you have melted steel and glass. And then the only thing that is left is the steel, the thick steel frame, and then the steel sheet metal.
So I don't know if you guys have figured this out yet, but the media has not been given access to Lahaina town. Everything is locked up. Matter of fact, this gentleman next door, he was on Front Street yesterday and he was supposed to get access, and then the mayor shut it down because people were taking pictures. So they don't want pictures taken of anything in Lahaina town because they don't want you to see this would be my guess. Because the more that you take a look at this, and especially in this scenario, if there was a car like this in the middle of Lahaina, you might think to yourself, well, okay, it was in the middle of this major burn. So now we have another vehicle right next to it. Talk to me about this one, Don.
Yeah,
what are you seeing?
It's symmetrical with the other one.
Yes.
Pretty much identical. I mean, the heat is just tremendous heat. Melting glass, melting metal, incinerating the tires to the point of, you know, the only thing you see is the steel belts, which actually fall apart like spaghetti noodles when you touch it.
So the media is not allowed in here. No one's allowed in Lahaina town. So the only way this message is going to get out right now is if you, until your fingers bleed for America, start sharing this video.
Look what it did to the steering wheel. I mean, all it is the steering column.
We the people is all we got left here. And the more we get the word out and the more people start seeing this crazy anomaly, and we're seeing it in a lot of different places. Donovan here has been on a scooter. He was at the scene of the crime the day of the fire. He was helping people, rerouting them away from Lahaina as the cops had not blocked the southbound traffic until you got almost to Front Street.
Grass.
And notice the green grass here. Now, it's only been 2 weeks. I don't know if that's 2 weeks.
2 weeks of growth?
Is that 2 weeks of growth? We have green grass. You think is that 2 weeks of growth? Okay, maybe it is. But there's a lot of green grass here. I don't know.
Yeah,
Someone tell me how fast does grass grow? Is that 2 weeks of growth? Someone dumped some trash in there, right? I wonder who did that. It's kind of weird.
Some nice people.
Some nice people.
Yeah.
Lazy.
But if you don't share this story, I don't know who will, man.
An iron block usually would hold out a little bit longer.
I mean, is it possible that they're making these cars with different types of materials that just have a lower melting point? But even if they did,
oh, look it
wouldn't make any sense because we're in a field with just a little bit of grass.
The block is still there. It's turned sideways.
The block is still
there?
there?
But the aluminum valve cover is still melted to death.
So can a grass fire...
But how's it burn underneath the hood? That's the thing.
Underneath the hood is protecting it from heat, right?
Or oxygen.
Oxygen.
You can't get in there.
Right. So you have no combustion. And again, if you're just tuning into this live, the edge of the fire went to that little grass. This was all just grass, no trees. You can see a couple of trees right there. It just went to the edge of the sidewalk. I mean, not even to the sidewalk. It just went inside of this fence, and then it stopped right before it got to this guy's thing, this guy's house.
Dude, look at these cars, man.
It doesn't even look real.
This is like Terminator 2, man.
Definitely is unnerving.
Yeah. Do you see this? This is my my audio interface. That was my music stand. And these were my drums, dude. You know, there's like a bunch of pennies here. These were my son's like in his collection. I'm not gonna take them. I'm just like, they're toasted anyway.
Because this is nuts. Like when you see this, you're just going to be like breaking. It's going to break science. If you're a scientist and you understand anything about temperatures and melting points, what we're about to show you is going to change, in my opinion, the whole direction of this entire investigation. From what I'm being led to believe, and it just makes logical sense, right?
Yeah, it's almost like there's an incinerator nearby and they just dropped the car off.
Right. So I'm going to turn the camera on what we're walking up on right now. I want you to notice there's a vehicle that's been here since the beginning. It wasn't dropped off here, obviously.
Look at the chair's not melted.
You can see here there's
it's sitting in the middle.
This is the highest the burn got. Right here. It did not cross the highway. If you look over here, this is the bypass. You can see none of that grass is burned over there. So start to draw some logical conclusions.
Oh, look at.
We're going to show you some more things as we're walking along here.
How did that not disappear? If
this melted, how did that cone not completely disappear? Because if you look at this vehicle, and I want you to notice the burn, the amount of grass, as you can see, that burned and the char marks. This car is basically completely surrounded by gravel, and you can see a small little flames right here when this grass burned. Yet, when you turn and look right in this direction, besides seeing Dylan, my technical cameraman, you can see this car. And for all you scientists out there that have been sending me images and you're asking me if they're real, I'm here to tell you, in Jesus' name, what we're showing you is real, live on YouTube. So if you enjoy content like this, we ask you to please immediately like this, share this, and subscribe to the channel. Why? Because you are our only hope of getting this out to the world through the YouTube algorithm. This is a tire that is gone. These are the braids of steel inside the tire. Look at this particular rim. Is it safe to say these are aluminum?
Look at the windshield. What's that?
Are these aluminum?
Yeah, that's cast aluminum wheels.
Cast aluminum wheel. You can see it melted.
And the windshield on the inside?
Look at the windshield. That is a windshield right there that is completely melted. We have some jumper cables in the back of the vehicle. We have some cast aluminum here that's pulverized.
Just dust.
How is that possible for a grass fire that did not come from this direction? Because you can see there's nothing that's been burned over here. What could cause that type of destruction when you have a grass fire on this side that obviously didn't connect? But even if it was a grass fire,
and it's still only half burned. I mean,
yeah, you can see there's even some grass over here that's still standing. It's not even been burned. So even down below, directly below this, you can see some wood fence posts that were burned, but you can see all that grass is still good. So how do you get this car this hot? In the comments section, I need to hear from you guys. Honestly, I need you here in the comments section. There's some smart people, and I'm not talking about, I'm talking about some intelligent people out there that understand physics, science, melting points, not the nonsense people. We need to just silence the nonsense for a moment. We need some real scientists, some real professors around the world to check in right now and help us understand what phenomenon, right?
Yeah, it's an anomaly or whatever you want to call that word.
Right, but this is just one vehicle. This is what we're seeing in all.
Oh, there's the window down there in the middle.
But I've had people reach out to me from around the world asking for these types of images, detailed images. And by the way, thankful that the sheriffs have left. We asked them if I've said, hey, if you guys love your country, allow us to come in here and grab these images. And they've left, and I'm so thankful. And I told the sheriff, said, hey, I'm thankful for you guys because you're sworn to protect the Constitution. You've got more power than anybody in the
And thank God they left the area.
And thank God they left the area. Yeah, and we're so thankful that they did. They had these stern looks on their faces, man, because we're just like, what law
Let me pull
prevents
up
us from having access? Why can the media not have access to this? Why is there a fence? Why are there checkpoints? This is melted copper.
Yeah,
These are the jumping
so
cables.
what people are familiar with seeing, this is how hot it got. This literally destroyed metal, and I mean the spring had no integrity at all. It was just no resistance.
You can see this. What do you think this is? Is this the tranny?
Wow.
What is that?
The aluminum?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it had an aluminum gas tank.
But look at all this. Came all the way out here.
Yeah, that's not just heating and melting. That's liquefying, which is
liquefying. That's a whole nother level.
Probably like 1,500 to 2,000 degrees. Look,
So
that looks like a cell phone.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. What do you guys think? Talk to me. Share the video. Call Joe Rogan. Right?
Yeah.
Somebody call somebody with way more social media clout than I have. And we're not. The Rock. Where's The Rock at? Where's the PGA at? Where's the people at? Where are the people that love this country? They're going to help us solve this mystery. And the sheriffs were nice enough to leave us alone. They said we couldn't park here, but why is it that the media is not given access? Is there third-party independent oversight to what's going on? Why is the deputy sheriff, the chief of police, still the coroner? There's so many unanswered questions, but I hope that this brings some insight into what limited things we are able to see right now.
Cable right here. There you go.
And quite frankly, this does not make sense. Even if I didn't understand anything about temperature or fires, any logical person can look at this and go, hey,
Oh
man,
my Lord, look at the motor.
how did this grass fire cause this car to completely melt? Look at this look at this motor.
The manifold.
Where's the manifold?
Right here.
I know, where is it?
It's dust.
And then look at that push pop in there. Completely intact.
What?
Completely intact.
Well, maybe someone came here and had
Maybe
a kid
have
taking
to throw
pictures
that.
or something.
I don't know,
you
it
know.
looks like it endured a fire. I don't know.
That is weird though. So this is just pulver. It's literally.
That's the battery.
Oh gosh.
That's lead.
That is lead. That is lead. Oh boy, I'm gonna get that off me.
Yeah. Might not be damaging now. Yeah, here's the glass from the lights.
Again, I can't overstate this enough. You guys got to help out right now. We got to get this out to the world.
This is unreal.
Whatever you can do within your power, which is your little buttons. If your fingers aren't bleeding by the end of tonight from sharing this type of content and people that are bringing you the truth, of course you can give to our fund that we've created so you can keep this type of reporting going and help the people of Maui. It's mauilfg.org. You can go to that website if you have a need, if you have a resource, and if you want to give, go to mauilfg.org.
You'd look down and, 3-4 houses down, you'd notice there's a roof on fire over there. Propane tanks blowing off. You could hear at one point one was venting. It sounded like a jet engine going off. And my crew was they were covered in smoke, and we were just constantly getting bombarded by the winds. We'd get our lines off the truck, and the gust of winds were so strong they'd lay down, you could barely stand up. Like it felt like it was going to blow you over. You couldn't see. You'd have ember and ash blowing in your face.
15 years in this department, I've never seen structure fires spread like a wildfire would. I mean, it just ran on us.
All units, we got to get out of the center of this fire.
Once we knew we were out of water and our ability to fight the fire was limited, we shifted our objectives to just trying to evacuate the people. We were driving through the neighborhoods.
That's as useless as I ever felt. Like, you're not doing anything, and we're trying as best as we can, but nothing was working in our favor. Basically, all the cards were stacked up against us.
When the smoke cleared Wednesday morning, they didn't have time to process what they were seeing.
Sometimes you think constantly think back about what if this was different.
Only because John won't believe it.
Yes, he will.
Yeah, he will, yeah.